Hello friends, Ace Votain, next episode. In this episode, we'll be discussing first year chapter number 2, biological classification, a big chapter, a theoretical chapter, entire living system we'll be studying there. Exam point of view, whether theory or entrance, it is important. 5-6 question, some years they ask for NEET exam because all the life forms we have to study here, theoretical only. And this is the last chapter for first year theory part with the notes. After that, we'll be doing segment like live discussions. Shorts question I am daily putting 3 questions for time being. Later I will increase to 2 first year and 2 second year. Timing will be 1 in the morning time. It will be around lunch time, not morning time, lunch time, daytime, lunch time, around 12:30 to 1:30 in between. So 2 questions will be there. Then evening after 9 o'clock up to 10:30, 11, depending on 2 more questions. One set from first year, one set from second year. Gradually it will be starting. Now presently I'm putting only second year questions because first year not yet started. First year theory part, last chapter. So notes will be available in YouTube, Ace Votain. So please subscribe it, Ace Votain. For general items, not connected with the subject, general items, I am also doing another channel, Beyond Textbook. Interesting aspects will be discussed there. So we can proceed. Chapter number 2, bio classification, first episode. So what all things we'll be learning in this episode? For that, I will share the screen so it will be convenient for you. I think screen came. So we can proceed. Chapter number 2, bio classification, first episode. So topics, first there will be, as usual, every episode will be having an introduction. Then here it is kingdoms classifications. Then kingdom Monera, almost slightly more than half we'll be discussing here. Remaining Moneram part in the next episode, otherwise it will be too lengthy. So we can proceed as an introduction. Say, in this world, you can find millions of organisms living or available. And for studying these organisms, they should be properly identified, classified, etc. So classification will involve identifying similarities and dissimilarities. No classification in the world seems to be perfect. Scientific development also helps in more acceptable systems. Old classifications are mainly based on external features. That is regarding a small introduction. Now we can proceed to different kingdoms, their classification. Starting with the famous scientist Aristotle, father of biology and father of zoology. Aristotle classified plants into herbs, shrubs, and trees. The famous question based on morphological features. Animals into Enaima and Anaima based on RBC present or absent. Another famous question. So from this Aristotle, there is a part. Once in a while or once in 2-3 years, they'll be asking what are the types of plant side classification, animal side classification, based on what criteria, which criteria. Aristotle. Now we are entering into next scientist, more familiar to you, Carl Linnaeus, father of taxonomy, 2 kingdom classification. Carl Linnaeus classified entire organism into 2. That is 2 kingdom, Plantae and Animalia. For this, some basic criteria used. And what are the criteria? One is cell wall. Second is locomotion, how the organism moves. Third is mode of nutrition. Fourth is external stimuli response. And next is contractile vacuole systems, etc. So these are some criteria where Carl Linnaeus used to classify organism into plant and animalia. Now, what are the main drawbacks? Since it is not much scientific aspects in it, automatically some deficiencies will be there, cannot distinguish between unicellular, multicellular organism, eukaryote, prokaryote, photosynthetic, non-photosynthetic, that is green algae and fungi. Then some organisms show both the plants and animal behavior character, as in the case of Euglena, Chlamydomonas, slime molds, etc. These are some main drawbacks of 2 kingdom classification forwarded by Carl Linnaeus. Now we can proceed to 3 kingdom classification. 3 kingdom classification, that is connected with the scientist Ernest Haeckel. And the 3rd kingdom after plant and animalia, what he proposed was kingdom Protista. And this is the kingdom of unicellular eukaryote, where some examples are Chlamydomonas, Chlorella, Paramecium, and Amoeba. Unicellular eukaryote, that is kingdom Protista. So they are unicellular at the same time eukaryotes. That is Plantae, Animalia, and Protista. Third one. Now, fourth one, for the sense, four kingdom classification, that is by H.F. Copeland. And the kingdom added by him was Monera, Plantae, Animalia, Protista, already three kingdom. Now, fourth is Monera, four kingdom classification. I think idea clear. Now comes famous five kingdom classification by R.H. Whittaker in 1969. Plantae, Animalia, Protista, Monera. Then fifth one, what he added is fungus. That is regarding Whittaker's system, 1969. Year is important for theory entrance exams. Now comes sixth kingdom classification. This will be continuing class. Kingdoms will be enhancing, increasing. Some scientists, some criteria, kingdom will be increased. So sixth kingdom classification by Carl Voss, 1977. Again, here how the five becomes six. Plantae, Animalia, Protista, Fungi. So Monera you cannot find here. Instead of it, Monera is divided into two, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. That is Monera. Now, based on the sequence of 16S ribosomal RNA genes, it's important one, 16S ribosomal RNA gene more stable, six kingdoms grouped into three domains of life believed to be originated from an ancestor progenitor. So criteria is based on sequence of 16S ribosomal RNA gene. So six kingdom grouped into three domains of life believed to be originated from an ancestor called, here you can find progenitor. And progenitor from that, archaea, bacteria, eukarya. So three domains has been classified. I think idea clear. We can proceed to next aspect. Now comes five kingdom classification, detailed manner. R.H. Whittaker, 1969. And this table is NCERT. You may be familiar. And there five kingdoms represented here. Normally, students will not give any attention for this type of tables from NCERT. NCERT tables and NCERT diagrams don't live. Typical example, I will show you one question. When you take the cell type here, in five kingdom classification, based on cell type, which is the odd one, we can find Monera prokaryote, remaining all four are eukaryote. So odd one is prokaryote. This way, they can give questions. So don't leave these tables. Important one, Whittaker. Usually one question will be getting regularly from this table for NEET exam and theory exam. NCERT only, that is why. Now we can proceed to next. Basic criteria for this five kingdom classification is the important one. One, prokaryote and eukaryote, that is cell structure. Second, body differentiated or not, that is based on thallus organization. Third is autotroph or heterotroph, that is based on mode of nutrition. And this one got maximum importance. Then no individuals produce, it is based on reproduction. Then evolutionary aspect, that is criteria is phylogenetic relations. So these are the relations and the division shown there for your convenience for Whittaker's five kingdom classification, 1969. I think idea clear. Now we can proceed to next step. Next page. Now kingdom Monera, we are proceeding another famous NCERT diagram. We will come into this diagram later. So Monera. So when we start with the Monera, prokaryote. So Monera includes all prokaryotic organisms. And remember, NCERT clearly says bacteria are the sole members of kingdom Monera. And Monerans are primitive, abundant, smallest, simplest organisms of this world. And they will be present everywhere, omnipresent. Highly variable habitat, extreme habitat even they can exist. And they never possess heteronucleus. What they possess is nucleoid and non-histone proteins. Histone proteins absent, non-histone proteins. DNA is usually double-stranded. Cell wall is made by a chemical called peptidoglycan. Ribosome is 70S type. Membrane-bound cell organs absent. Remember, ribosome have no membrane, a membranous, 70S only. Regarding nutrition, majority are heterotroph. Regarding nutrition, majority are heterotroph, important. And we can proceed to next page. So main shapes of bacteria, another usual question, we can find spherical as in coccus, rod as in bacillus, spiral as in spirilla, and comma as in vibrio. Normal question, typical question. And in bacillus, we can find endospores. Endospore formation is usually seen in bacillus and clostridium. Another important question. Endospore formation is seen in bacillus and clostridium. Now we have to enter into bacterial life process, a big area. That is why I divided into two. This one remaining we'll be doing in next episode. So back to life process. So life, physiology. Here we'll be discussing two aspects, mainly respiration and nutrition. Now, when we enter into respiration, respiration has got two divisions. That is, organism can be classified aerobes and anaerobes. Under aerobes and anaerobes, two more types, that is obligate and facultative. Obligate means strict, they cannot change. Facultative means it is flexible, either this way or other way. Now, obligate aerobes, obligate and facultative, anaerobes, obligative and facultative. Everything I given, this will be easy for you, like a note you can use. That is the purpose of this classes. First, you will be supplied with the notes, entire notes. So, obligate, typical aerobic obligate, typical example is Bacillus subtilis. Facultative, most of the photosynthetic bacteria belongs to facultative aerobes. Typical example is Chlorobium. Now, anaerobes, obligate anaerobes, typical example is Clostridium botulinum. And facultative anaerobe, example is Pseudomonas species. Differences can be there, and within a genus, variations can be also possible. Four examples I given, that's all. We can proceed to next part. Now comes nutrition. When we come to nutrition, bacteria we are discussing, different types of classifications are available for nutrition also. And basic criteria is carbon source, energy, and electrons, from where it is getting. So nutrition, it is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Auto means self, hetero means not self. Under autotrophic and heterotrophic, autotrophic, photoautotrophic, and chemoautotrophic, heterotrophic, parasitic, symbiotic, saprophytic. And heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant in nature, important question. And they are important decomposers also. Economics, I will be discussing it. This group of bacteria are industrially and economically important. Chemosynthetic, autotrophic bacteria are important in recycling of nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, sulfur, etc. And symbiotic bacteria mainly gram-negative. Symbiotic bacteria gram-negative regarding staining. Now we can proceed to next area, that is reproduction. So when we come to reproduction, a true sexual reproduction is absent. The asexual reproduction is usually seen. Most common asexual mode is binary fission, and that will be favored under favorable conditions. Most efficient. In binary fission, it is a mitotic type, and three basic steps are there. So favorable condition, binary fission is most efficient. Favorable condition. It is an amitotic type and three basic steps. So three basic steps, a previous question. And it is often called Keynes theta model of replication. Now, endospore, another mode of reproduction, but remember, endospore is formed from one bacteria. That is, one endospore only will be formed from one bacteria. So during endospore formation, one endospore is formed from one bacteria, only one endospore, that is one individual. True sexual reproduction is absent, no meiosis, no gametes, no fusion of gametes, no zygote, nothing. And sexual reproduction simply means just a genetic recombination. Now comes economic aspect. Bacteria are useful in many ways. Too many economic sites will be there, too many. Few will be discussing like vinegar production, acetobacter, acetic acid. Then bacteria is concerned with the soil fertility. Then nitrogen cycle, curd, cheese. Then pollution control. Petrol, that is by Pseudomonas botidae, superbug, oil scavenger. Then antibiotic production. So many areas bacteria can be utilized, so many. And counter side, bacteria are one of the main causative organisms for diseases in plants, animals, and humans. And in plants, animals, and humans, some diseases I kept there because some of it came for previous exams. Plants, citrus canker. Many diseases are there. Few I select, that is all. Citrus canker, Xanthomonas citri. Bacterial blight, Xanthomonas oryzae, so for rice. Animal side, plague, Yersinia pestis. Anthrax, Bacillus anthracis. Humans, cholera, Vibrio cholerae. Typhoid, Salmonella typhi. So some diseases. Now after that, 5 theory question as usual, 5 NEET model question with the key. This is for this episode. because I told you it's a big area. So second part of Monera continuation we'll be doing in next episode. So we can just rewind what all things we discussed in this episode. So it will be convenient for you. You'll be getting a revision. So biological classification, first episode, we started with the introduction. What is the need for classification? How many organisms available? What is the need for identification? And as the days and years pass, scientific development advanced, helping in classification, etc. But remember, no classification seems to be perfect. Then we entered into different classifications, starting with the Aristotle, father of biology, zoology, classified plants into herbs, shapes, and trees based on morphological characters, animals based on RBC, NEET, and NEET. Then we discussed with the famous scientist Carl Linnaeus, father of taxonomy, token classification, plant animalia, and the criteria utilized by him, 4 or 5 criteria. Now, main drawbacks, because like unicellular, multicellular cannot be distinguished, eukaryote, prokaryote, likewise, 3, 4 drawbacks. Then, after this, 3 kingdom classification came, that is Ernest Haeckel, and the 3rd kingdom added was kingdom Protista. It is kingdom of unicellular eukaryotes. So some members include Chlamydomonas, Chlorella, Paramecium, amoeba. Then Protista was the 3rd one. Now comes 4th one. 4th in the sense, 4 kingdom classification by Herbert F. Copland. Kingdom Monera was added. Then the most famous kingdom, that is 5 kingdom classification by Whittaker, 1969, and the 5th kingdom added was fungus. Then detail will be observing after this. Then came 6th kingdom classification by Carl Woese, 1977, where Monera divided into archaea and eubacteria. Some conditions, criteria are there. Then, based on this sequence of 16S ribosome RNA gene, 6 kingdoms grouped into 3 domains. They are starting from a group called progenote, ancient group. So progenote, then 3 groups, archaea, bacteria, eukarya. Then 5 kingdom classification, a NCERT table, very important. Initially, I've shown you how the questions can frame from this, like cell type, odd one is Monera, prokaryote, rest all are eukaryote. Then, again, we discussed what are the criteria. Most important criteria was mode of nutrition. 5 criteria is utilized. Then kingdom Monera we ended. So kingdom Monera, all prokaryotic organism, bacteria is the sole member of kingdom Monera. Primitive, abundant, smallest, simplest organism present everywhere. Then no true nucleus, incipient nucleus, nucleoid, no histone protein, DNA is double standard, cell wall is peptidoglycan, ribosome is 70S. Then regarding nutrition, majority are heterotroph. Then main shapes, important 4 shapes. Endospore formation in Bacillus and Clostridium only. Now back to life process, where we'll be discussing 2 items, respiration, nutrition. Under respiration, aerobes and anaerobes. Again, aerobes and anaerobes, 2 more division, obligate, facultative. Obligate means strict, facultative means adjustable, alternative. In each case, example, plenty of examples are there. Typically, I put 4 examples. Then nutrition. Nutrition bacteria is a big area. Different types of classification. Basically, it is carbon, energy, electron, etc. based on it. Nutrition, autotroph, heterotroph, and autotroph, photo and chemo, and heterotroph, parasitic, symbiotic, saprophytic. And heterotrophic bacteria are most abundant in nature. Important decomposers, industrial and economic application for them. Chemosynthetic autotrophic bacteria are important in recycling nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, iron, sulfur. Symbiotic bacteria are mainly gram-negative. These are our previous question. Then we entered into reproduction. True sexual reproduction is absent. Asexual reproduction is seen. Most common is binary fission. Under favorable condition, binary fission. Most efficient. And in binary fission, we can find an mitotic type. 3 basic steps are there. In binary fission, 3 basic steps. And there is a famous scientist, Keynes theta model of DNA replication. Then endospore formation is seen in Bacillus and Clostridium, but only 1 endospore is formed from 1 bacteria. True sexual reproduction absent, no meiosis, no gamete, no fusion of gametes, no zygote, nothing. Only a genetic recombination. Then economic aspect, endless, plus and minus, vinegar production. Then soil fertility, nitrogen cycle, cheese pollution control. That is Pseudomonas whittier, oil scavenger, superbug, then antibiotics. And other side, bacteria, one of the main causative organisms for disease in plants, animals, and humans. Then 3 sets of plants, animals, humans, organism, and disease they mentioned. Then, as usual, 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question with the key. If you like this episode, subscribe or like it, share it, comment on it. So this is the last chapter in first year. After finishing this chapter, we'll be doing segments, 5 minutes, 3 minutes that way. Lively we'll be discussing. So at that time, notes will not be there. I will be writing on the screen. At that same time, that is why I put notes initially. So all chapters. Second day, 1 more chapter we are proceeding. That is the last chapter, ecosystem. 2nd episode in the next one. So after that, that chapter also get over. That is, ecosystem will be over. And bio classification will be over within 4-5 episodes. And the theory part will be there on YouTube. So you can refer that anytime. Then we'll be doing small segments live. Okay. So we can meet later. Take care. Bye. All the best.